Hello, driving intelligence community. My boy Abe says we got to get the grill running again. I got to take some time away from repairing or modifying cars, trucks. And while we're sitting here on the lake this summer, we definitely want to have the grill in operation. Unfortunately, it stopped working properly. Wouldn't put out a good flame front. And I did a little research trying to drive my own intelligence. And it turns out that these components here, these tubes that push out the flame kernel or the flame front, are all corroded and all this stuff wears out. These are the heat rods or the heat covers that allow the heat to radiate up toward whatever you're cooking. This thing was full of garbage and junk after 10 years of use. This Charbroil grill is about 10 years old. And I thought, in the spirit of don't replace it, fix it, which is one of my playlists out there, instead of getting rid of this old grill, I'm gonna repair it. And as I'm looking at the internals here, everything here is in good shape. It's just the rest of these components that are really just drop in. So I found replacement parts on Amazon, and I'm going to link those below, but it's real easy to find these kinds of parts on there. You just need to know what your manufacturer, your grill is, and the length of these tubes and the length of these radiant heat covers, and you can repair it. You can see I've already put 2 tubes in here, and I'm going to continue to rebuild it, put it back together, like I said, after I cleaned it out. And we're going to turn it on and hopefully see that we got a full flame front on this once again. The kit I bought is pretty comprehensive. It came with all these flame rods, and it also comes with some new igniters. These are bridges to stabilize the location of these rods. And the radiant heat covers that are right here, they're gonna go on top of each of those rods. So I've already started putting this thing together. I'm gonna go ahead and get all the rods connected, test it out before I put these radiant covers back on there to see if I fix the problem. I need to correct what I was calling stability devices for those flame pipes. What this actually is a device that allows the flame to travel from one pipe to the other. So make sure you absolutely install these. Your flame will not jump from one pipe to the other without these. The igniters are super easy to replace. I've just got to unravel this, and they've got a push-on connector. That's a female connector that goes on the back of the switch here. And here's the back side. I'm just going to pull off the wire to the one that goes into the main oven or grill area. And I'm just going to take it out and refeed the new one back through the same way. First test before I put the heat plates on. And I do have a fire, but it's not good. After replacing these flame pipes, I wanted to test it before I put everything back together. So I turned on the gas, and then I turned on this knob, which supplies, actually it's this knob, supplying the pipe with the igniter. I still have a very low flame front, barely visible going across, and none of the other ones will come on, so I got very low fuel flow. But here's the thing, when I use the stove, I've got the same condition, very low fuel flow going to the burner, so it's just a low flame front. Now here's the way this thing is designed. When the fuel regulator comes off the tank, it comes up and tees off in 2 directions. This direction to the manifold for those pipes, and then this direction to go to the stove. And since I've got low fuel on both of those, or low fuel flow, it tells me there's a problem with the regulator, or the regulator pipe going up to the T. So I went to Amazon and found myself one cheap that's the right length. I'm gonna go ahead and install this, and hopefully that finally resolves the issue with this stove. Here's a good view of what I was just referring to. Here's the pipe coming off from the tank and going up to the manifold. One direction here to the stove, and the other direction going over to the manifold for all the knobs for the main grill. So I'm gonna take this nut off right here and replace this whole section. To check for leaks, I made a 50-50 solution of dish soap and water, and I'm gonna spray it on those connections with the gas on to see if I have any leaks. If there are any leaks, there should be some bubbling that's very easy to see. Fortunately, there are no leaks, so I'm good to go with the full test. Now that I've got the regulator installed, I've used actually a little pipe dope on there. I'll link this in the description just to make sure there's no leak. And I've also tested it with some soapy water. I've just lightly turned on the fuel flow from the tank, and now I'm going to put this to the igniter setting, and I have excellent fuel flow and a nice flame front. So this is working perfectly now. And that's it. Turns out that it was the regulator and not the flame fronts or the flame pipes and these radiant shields, but this all needed to be replaced anyway. It was all corroded and rusted. You can see it's just a disaster over here. I'm gonna go recycle that, and now I can start doing some grilling again. Hope this helped you out. Surely helped me. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time on Driving Intelligence.